Hello everyone and welcome to another YouTube video, and also happy St. Patrick's Day. Apologies if I sound funny in this video. I was dancing in the parade and the cold air and heavy breathing kind of messed with my voice for a bit, but I'm not too bad now. Peppermint tea, you are my hero. So today I wanted to do an easier video on myself because I was on an overnight school trip that included a lot of hiking, and then I had a dance class and then the parade. And I'm very tired. So I decided I would draw some Skulduggery Pleasant characters, and this honestly just started with just Valkyrie and Skulduggery, but I just kept adding characters. So the speed paint probably took longer than most of my speed paints, but you know, oh well. Also, this is kind of perfectly planned because the new book is coming out in about 10-ish days when this is uploaded, I think. And obviously this is because of my brilliant planning skills and not just a coincidence. Anyways, with that, please don't forget to like and subscribe and enjoy the video. So the characters I'm drawing today are Tanith Lowe, Skulduggery Pleasant, Valkyrie Kane, Ghastly Bestbook, Anton Shutter, Dexter Vex, Sarsen Rue, and of course Fletcher Wren's hair and hand. I have a confession to make, and it's that I forgot about Fletcher until like last minute, so I just scribbled him in. And I didn't include China on purpose, though, for once I didn't forget one thing. It's probably worth mentioning that I'm going to try keep any spoilers to a minimum for people who may have not read the whole book series or just not read it at all. But there might be a few spoilers. Definitely, just minor ones. But, spoilers at the same time. So, obviously, to start, I'm drawing all the characters pre-Dexter's beard phase. That's what I'm calling it now because, post-Devastation Day is sad and I need to cope, please and thank you. So I don't really have a structure for this video. I suppose I should make it non-Skulduggery fan friendly, so I'll give a brief plot overview for you all. So basically, Skulduggery Pleasant is about a skeleton detective being irresponsible and letting a child detective with him. Valkyrie's the child, although her name's Stephanie at the beginning. Basically, there's chosen names because, if you use your regular name that you were, your given name, people can, manipulate you with it, and also they use their chosen name. And then there's true names as well, and it's not that confusing, actually. I don't know why I'm calling it confusing. It's really not. Your true name is, powerful and stuff, and I don't want to get too into it because of spoilers, but so we're going to leave it there. Anyway, and as this series goes on, Valkyrie gets older and learns more about the magic world. I think she's about 12 or 13, maybe 14 at the beginning. And she's in her 20s currently in the series, I think. So in this speed paint, she should be around 15 or 16-ish. And surprisingly, also, being put in that many deadly situations as a child does in fact impact her mentally in the future. But who'd have thunk it? So basically in this universe there are different disciplines and you pick one to focus on as a child because once you turn 18-ish, it varies from person to person. You'll have your surge and then you get stuck with that discipline forever, and that is obvious with a few characters who regret their discipline, but So on that note, I won't be saying what discipline Valkyrie ends up with after her surge because she uses a few disciplines before it when she's younger. And it's kind of a thing of, oh, what's she going to choose, you know what I mean? So I'm going to leave it. But I'll go over everyone else. So keep it short, there are two categories. Either you're an elemental, which that category includes one discipline, which is an elemental. And that uses the four elements, fire, earth, water, and air. The avatar is rolling in their grave. And if you're an elemental, you can use all four, no drawbacks really. I mean, okay, they don't work as you might think they might work. If you use earth, you just turn yourself into a rock that can't be hurt, but you're a rock and you can't choose when you turn yourself back. So and the other category is an adept. And an adept is every other kind of magic. So basically there's one category with one kind of magic, and then there's the other category, and that has all the other ones. I don't know. But anyway, you might be surprised when I say this, but most characters' disciplines fall under adept. Surprisingly, So just to, I'm just gonna say who has what discipline, because I didn't plan this video out, okay? So Tanith, I don't think her discipline has a fancy name. I think it's just called a wall walker, and it's kind of what she said. It says on the tin. She just changes her center of gravity to like walk on walls in the ceiling, and it's pretty cool. But that's it. It's just what it says on the tin. And then Skulduggery and Ghastly are both elementals. Anton is another adept. He is a Gist, which is like this monster made out of all your like nasty thoughts and emotions that comes out of your chest. Hence the scar I gave him there. It's not canonical that he has one there, but I like to think all Gist users do, because I think it's cool. It's like having a Gist is very strong, but it's hard to control, so he rarely uses it, and you see like the same thing with other Gist users in the series. They're not very eager to use it. Dexter's an energy thrower, another adept. Whoa, crazy. Somehow, if all disciplines except for one falls under one category, it's gonna be mainly that category. So his discipline, like Tanith's, is what it says on the tin. He just throws energy. He's an energy thrower. I don't know what more you want me to say. As for Saracen Rue, I'm gonna say what they say in the book. He knows things. For the sake of the spoiler-free video, I am not telling you the name of his discipline, nor what it is. You can figure it out like the rest of us had to by reading the books, or I suppose you could just look it up. But that's boring. And Fletcher's a teleporter. I mean, if I have to explain to you what a teleporter is, I don't think you should be watching this video. Other disciplines then under the adept category, and there's a few that I might not pronounce right because, to be honest, they're books. They're not exactly audible, but I just wrote down the ones I could think of off the top of my head, so these are all off the top of my head, so it's not going to be all of them. So if you're watching this and you're like, you forgot this one, it's not going to be all of them. So the ones that I wrote down are tunneling, being a licensist. I don't know what the word is in, like, tunneling would be for licenses. So tunneling, being a licensist, sensitivity, necromancy, vitakinesis, arborkinesis, and signum linguistics. There are more. Those are the ones that came out of the top of my head, but I know there's more. Oh, kineticism is another one, I think. Yeah, there's a lot, but Also, I know you're probably thinking that arborkinesis sounds really cool, but it's just talking to plants to make them grow faster. I'm not joking. That's literally what it is. I don't know. They even call it lame in the books, and it is lame. It's really lame. Okay, so let's talk about the actual speed paint itself. I tried to keep all the characters as in character as possible, but honestly, I was so tired that I think I just drew them. And honestly, I did think about putting Tanith like upside down while she was taking the photo, but I was almost finished the sketch when I thought of it, so whoop-de-doo. Other than that, I thought Skulduggery attempting to look all cool was in character, or maybe he isn't trying. We'll never know. You can't really tell by the look on his face. Spitting truths. That's what I do on this channel. Oh God. Ghastly being the only one just smiling for the photo was like my top priority. I suppose you could argue that Tanith is, but she's taking the photo. She's doing something else, you know what I mean? Obviously, we have Val looking all smug, completely unaware to the horror of Dexter giving her bunny ears in a photo. And then Dexter is oblivious to Saracen doing the same thing to him, while Anton is just not impressed with the disrespect towards the photo. And Fletcher is trying his best to get into the photo. I did decide to tilt Ghastly slightly so that it looks like he's trying to let Fletcher into the photo. That still isn't enough. So all you can see is his god-awful haircut. Also, this is off topic, but I cannot believe what they did to my boy Anton in some of the official art. What is that? What is that? And yes, I do refuse to believe it, because in all the other official art, he looks like this. okay? Also, I literally do not remember him cutting his hair, so it's still long to me, okay? I can't believe in the book that they were like, I can't believe like in the book it says he has long hair, and then the artist was like, so that means he's balding. I don't know, man. Also, why can he randomly speak French? Gay people, am I right? Another thing is, what is the Mandela effect of everyone drawing Dexter in a red shirt? I swear I do not remember it ever being stated that he ever wore a red shirt. Maybe it was in that one scene where, like, he's taking off his shirt and putting on a new one. But I don't know, and everyone draws him in a red shirt, and now it feels illegal not to. Also, just because I feel like I'm naming random facts about all of them now, some random facts I remember about him is that he had a spiel about waffle irons with Saracen, and then he had another spiel about cats and ostriches, and he had a cat named Sabrina, and a hippie phase. Like, can we roll that back? Oh, and also he was like, I think he was vegetarian for a bit as well for some reason. And he also speaks French. What is with these men and speaking French? Gay people, am I right? Oh, and he apparently taught Skulduggery how to dance, which is random. I mean, he said he did, so I don't know if I believe him, but he said he did, so. I also specifically remember him asking if his legs had vital organs after getting hit in the legs, and I don't remember when he did that, but I remember him doing that. If you can't tell, like, I haven't read these books in a while, but I specifically remember him being like, did any of my vital organs get hit? Do legs have vital organs? Someone take that man to a biology class. Also, for those of you who are wondering and do not know if legs have vital organs, your legs have arteries, and they are considered to be vital organs. Just in case you were wondering. And, like, you know, because I realize that some people who are watching this may not have done biology, or, you know, you know, aren't... You know what, most people watching this are going to be past the age of 13. You should be anyway. But my point is, he should know. You know? By the way, what color is Saracen's hair? I made it brown in this, but between him and Dexter, no one can decide on their hair colors. I've seen like 3 separate arguments about this. So for me, with Dexter, it's always been obvious for me when I'm imagining him. Like in the first book we like meet him in, it says he's blonde because it's sun bleached. So in my mind, when his hair was darker in the next book, that meant dirty blonde, because you don't go from blonde to brown because of a bit of sun. You know, as someone with brown hair, I've never gotten anywhere close to blonde, and I get highlights from the sun, so I do get sun bleached hair, but it doesn't go blonde. Yeah. Anyway, but with Saracen, I genuinely don't know if it's black or brown. The only reason I went brown is because Anton and Valkyrie both have black hair, and I wanted to break it up a bit, you know, considering they all have brown eyes. Why does everyone have brown eyes? Dear Glandy, explain yourself. I've seen some things where people are like, oh, Ghastly has green eyes or hazel eyes, but I actually think he has brown as well, guys. I've always drawn China with blue eyes, though. I'm not even sure if she has that, but I've always drawn her with blue eyes, even if she isn't in the speed paint. I think it's because she has black hair and she's a girl, and then if you're drawing Valkyrie as an adult and China's like arms and all aren't exposed, so you like can't see the sigils on her body, it's kind of like, okay, which one's which? You know what I mean? Unless you know, I suppose you could just make China really yassified. Anyways, I remember Saracen lying to Anton about defeating the butcher's wife. That was really funny to younger me for some reason. Don't ask how I knew what the words in that scene meant. I don't know either. I also remember his magical eyebrow spiel. For anyone who hasn't read the books, basically he said he didn't like a guy because the guy had odd eyebrows, and apparently said guy was trying to hypnotize him with said odd magical eyebrows. I don't know. And while we're on odd tidbit facts, the main thing I remember about Tanith is being a kid and being absolutely astonished at how many people she's dated. Like, off the top of my head, she's dated Frightening Jones, Saracen, and Aurora Jane. I want to date Aurora Jane. And then obviously her and Ghastly, which is like the cutest thing ever, changed my mind. And I read Hell Breaks Loose. And if that means the story is going in the direction that I think it's going, I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry because I don't care about Oberon. And people who haven't read the books are going to be so confused, but I don't care about Oberon. Okay? I don't. He can go away. Okay? And I also remember she has a near-death experience in almost every book. And I remember, like, it used to drive me mad as a kid because I used to, like, really like her character. And then I found out why. So, I mean, it's not really a spoiler to say if a character doesn't die in a certain book, is it? You know what? It isn't now. And this is your spoiler for that. So basically, in the first book, apparently, Derek Landy wanted to kill her off. In the first book? The first one? Which is like, because like she's such like a major character now that like her dying in the first book just seems like really weird. But his editor was like, hey man, don't do that. So now he just gives her a near-death experience in every book because why not? That's so rude. You know? It's so rude. But I guess I'm going in this direction for this video anyway now. So on to Ghastly, I guess. Our favorite boxer tailor man. I found it really funny how apprehensive he got over Malevolent having a good fashion sense, as if evil people aren't allowed to. Also, me and him have the same favorite color, and I think that's cool. For those of you wondering, it's green. I also specifically remember him saying that'll teach him to underestimate stupid people, and I don't remember when, but I do remember him saying it. And I remember him saying he'll think twice before making tea again. And I have remembered the scene now, but when I was like writing out like roughly what I wanted to talk about in this video, I couldn't. And I was sitting there for like 20 minutes being like, when did he say that? Like, there's no way he just randomly said that for no reason. But he said it in a scene with Ravel about Ravel not being able to ask for things. Basically, was it Tipstaff? I think it was Tipstaff. He asked Tipstaff for coffee. Tipstaff made him tea. He was like, hey man, I asked for coffee. Tipstaff was like, well, I made tea. And Ravel was like, okay then, I will drink the tea. Fine. Just so you know, at this point, Ravel was, I'm pretty sure, the Grand Mage? Was he? He was definitely Tipstaff's boss anyway, okay? So it's really funny to me how he was just like, okay. Also, why is Ghastly canonically friends with Leonard Cohen? You know, the singer and author? And I think he did poetry. I think he did poetry too, but I'm not sure. Like the actual, I think he's Canadian. Him? He's a real person. And on Skulduggery, he said that his scarf was made by Grace Coolidge. As in Calvin Coolidge's wife. As in the US President Calvin Coolidge. The crossovers in this book are sometimes really funny. Okay, we had a whole character named Luke Skywalker at one stage because you choose your name. Listen. Also, Serpine used Skulduggery's like ribcage as a xylophone once, and I thought it was really funny, but it probably hurt. Anyway, that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. Irish word of the week is lower. It means book. Good day.